Which ministers do not deserve to be in the new cabinet? Why has President Cyril Ramaphosa retained ministers who are regarded as incompetent? Has President Ramaphosa missed an opportunity to put the country on the path to good governance? Why are there mixed feelings about the appointment of David Mabuza as Deputy President of the country? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Bongi Kwala, standing in for Port Sedu tonight. There have been mixed reactions to Cyril Ramaphosa's first cabinet reshuffle since assuming the highest office. President Ramaphosa announced his much-anticipated cabinet changes late on Monday. There were notable appointments, with Pravin Gordhan appointed as a Minister of Public Enterprises and Nhlanhla Nene as a Finance Minister. A number of those alleged to be linked to the Gupta family were axed. Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma and Bathabile Dlamini were redeployed to the office of the Presidency. The South African Communist Party's General Secretary, Dr. Nzimande, is the new Minister of Transport now. Some analysts are asking why some of the ministers implicated in allegations of state capture were retained. Others say it remains to be seen whether the inquiry into state capture will be done without fear or favor. We are live, therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers are 0891 104 210. If you're outside of South Africa, the number is +27 89 104 210. Or tweet us your comments. Our Twitter handle is @QuestionTime24. And of course, a reminder that you can stream us on a Facebook page, SABC News Online, and our YouTube channel, YouTube/SABC Digital News. My guest today, Ben Theron, Chief Operations Officer at the Organization Undoing Tax Abuse. Good to be with you in studio.
Always nice being here.
Alex Mashilo is the spokesperson of the SACP. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, before I talk to both of you, let's have a look at what Chief Justice Mogoeng had to say yesterday at the swearing-in of the ministers.
Everybody who is going to be called upon to take an oath or an affirmation is required to do so as allegiance to the Republic and obedience to the Constitution. So if you like, you've come to enter into a formal contract with the people of South Africa. This oath of office or affirmation is going to judge you before the public even dares to do so.
Chief Justice Mogoeng stating the importance of respecting and abiding by the Constitution. All right, so let's get on with it. Let me start with you, Alex Mashilo, spokesperson at the South African Communist Party. Are you satisfied? Are you all right with the cabinet, with the reshuffle?
Firstly, let me confirm that the SACP was consulted, and being consulted does not mean that agreeing with everything. It means expressing your views while you recognize that those who are consulting you have got views too, and that they are consulting other people. We can say the direction that the reshuffle introduced does indicate that the president did listen to the people. The South African Communist Party in November, December last year took a resolution that those who are associated with serious allegations of corruption and wrongdoing in government, particularly as also it relates to the Gupta leaks, had to be removed to a particular extent. In fact, significantly, the president did respond to that.
Why did you have to start with the SACP was consulted? How important was that? And has it been a trend in the last couple of months, or there was a move away from that?
I had to start with that because it is extremely important.
How so?
In the second term of President Jacob Zuma's presidency, we have seen increasing authoritarianism and unilateralism to the extent that in March 2017, we have seen 3 senior officials of the African National Congress, the Treasurer General Willem Kize, Secretary General Gwede Mantashe, Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, distancing themselves to a cabinet reshuffle that was made by President Jacob Zuma. The ANC was not consulted, the alliance was not consulted. And the other point about the importance of this is that the ANC not only contests elections on behalf only of its members, it does so also on behalf of the alliance. It is very important, and we agreed about this in May of 2008, for the alliance to function as a political center and to give collective leadership to our process of transformation. When things go wrong in government, people not only blame those who are in government, not only blame the ANC, the rest of the alliance is blamed when things are going wrong.
You're not welcoming the cabinet reshuffle because Dr. Nzimande, the leader of the SACP, is back in the cabinet, right?
I have made it very clear that we have taken a decision at our augmented central committee meeting in November and December that those who were implicated in serious wrongdoing, particularly acts of corporate state capture and corruption in the state, had to be removed. And I have said that the president, in making his announcement, clearly responded to the call that we have made. It may not be 100%, but it is significant.
And Ben, here, the organization Undoing Tax Abuse, you have highlighted a lot of issues of abuse, of corruption in how the water issue has been handled. You raised this issue at SASA and so on, but we still see those ministers there in the reshuffled cabinet. Your views on that?
We believe the president has lost an opportunity to start the year off this temporary term of office that he has very badly. He's missed an opportunity to make a clean sweep when it comes to people that are even tainted. People like Bathabile is still there, the previous minister Mokonyane is still there, and Gigaba's there. We are satisfied that a number of them have been removed, but those are the people that the Constitutional Court found Bathabile lacking, did not fulfill their constitutional duties. Gigaba over and over has proven himself incompetent, and we believe that's just a tip of the iceberg that has been exposed so far. It will come out in the state capture.
But what does this then say about the president?
He's not fully in charge. That's what we believe. So he's made some decisions, but he had to make some concessions with the old guard still being in place, and then his new blood that he brought in, and the names that you mentioned in terms of Pravin Gordhan, the new Minister of Treasury. I think those are the good moves, but he's left a little bit of rot in the cabinet.
But institutional memory is very, very important. I mean, let's take, for instance, Minister Jeff Radebe, who's been there since 1994, the longest serving minister. He has moved to energy, but you're not complaining about that.
No, remember, I just mentioned a few names. We are absolutely happy that the new person took over the energy. The point that you make about institutional memory, there's no institutional memory because the President Zuma, the ex-President Zuma, shuffled people around, creating vacuums wherever these people went.
All right, let's talk to Alex in Vereeniging. Alex, hi. Okay. Alex, are you there? Alex has... Okay. Yes. Alex, are you there? Alex has dropped. Let me come back to the Alex. Please do, go ahead and replace. Because we waited, the country waited, the entire world waited. 8:30 was the time, and we were told that there were consultations. And we were told 9 o'clock, and then we were told 10 o'clock. What happened during that 1.5 hours? Were there some changes that President Cyril Ramaphosa had to make to what he had signed off and then was influenced otherwise?
I don't believe that there were changes, but
what held him back from making that announcement at 8:30? He's very punctual, isn't he?
He did explain why. He said that there were consultations. Remember that you must call people who you are removing from the cabinet and explain to them that you are removing them. You talk to those who you are appointing. You are consulting with the leadership of the ANC. Remember that this is not a presidential electoral system. It is a multi-party political electoral system. He had to consult with the African National Congress. That's where he is deriving his mandate. And consultation means that there are engagements.
I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Why consult when you have said, I'm starting now, and you are certain that these are the people, these are my foot soldiers, and then then at the last minute, then you still have to consult. Why make the announcement that I am making these changes before you consult? Then what does it say about you? No,
there was consultation throughout the day. It took very long. It clearly shows that the president thought that by the time of about 8:30 it would have been concluded. Certainly it was not concluded. When he came to make the announcement, you could see that the president was actually exhausted, and he did say in his apology that the delay was caused by consultation. We accept the fact that there was that consultation. Unfortunately, it was not concluded on time to make the announcement at 8:30. All right, let's go to, is it Lavi in Volmanstal? Hi.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Go ahead.
I just want to ask that gentleman with black clothes, why is so happy about Pravin Gordhan who captured the state? And why that SAP is so happy when he's making Nzimande back? Thank you.
Okay, I'm really struggling to hear Lavi there. But thank you very much for calling nonetheless. And Mr. Theron, then, you know, we have these ministers. So what is going to happen? Because clearly some of them have been implicated, as we know. And as Julius Malema said, the leader of the EFF, that some of them won't even have time to do their duties, to perform their duties, because they will be attending court matters that stem from, among other things, the issues of Guptas and corruption and so on and so on. So what do you think of that, and who do you think then needs to come in and plug the hole there when we have these ministers in those portfolios?
I can assure you, Minister Gigaba will be in part of the state capture inquiry. Suddenly the Hawks and the NPA have woken up. Today there were some very serious accusations made by the head of the Hawks, General Matakata, saying that the NPA was in actual fact purposely delaying the process to go after the Guptas. So there are a number of people that will be, and maybe what I was trying to say there is that the NPA and the Hawks have woken up and they will now pursue the matters that we've laid charges last year.
Why would they delay their action against the Guptas? Is there any particular reason? And what are you going to do about it as the organization undoing tax abuse?
First of all, let me just say, the whole of last year when we were busy laying charges, going after people, people complained to us and said, you're wasting your time. Now, as the fruit has come to bear now, when suddenly the Hawks have woken up, the NPA has woken up, and people are now taken to task. And we believe that it was worth a while to do it then. We don't know what the delay was. And you'll find 20 different reasons for that. Number one, it would be they were compiling cases, they were reviewing the cases, etc. We believe there was political meddling, but we can't prove that. All we can hope for now is that the political meddling has been taken out of the system so that the cases can go to court. But I want to come to your original question. People will be in court and people will be part of the inquiry that's taking place. And I'm not too sure how that will be managed. The Home Affairs will have to run themselves while Minister Gigaba is now part of that.
So you think he's not fit to be in that office?
He's not fit. He was part of the Home Affairs when the rot set in with the Guptas. He's the one that overturned the Home Affairs Director General to grant them citizenship. He was part of the process, helping them getting visas to come to South Africa. So we believe he's rotten. We believe he should never have been appointed in the first place. Even in the previous cabinet, he shouldn't have been there.
The DG at Home Affairs as well, you arguing that also is complicit in granting those permits to the Guptas, and therefore he needs to be acted upon?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
What I said is the minister was involved in giving those things. The DG previously turned down an application because there was no extraordinary grounds to grant them citizenship, and that was overturned by the president. So there's a tension there, and that needs to be fixed up. But we believe Gigaba is a problem.
All right, let's go to Joe in Alberton. Joe?
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks, man. I've got a problem here.
Yeah.
I'll start with the outer chap. I forgot his name there. You know, this guy's glorified Pravin Gordhan. Pravin Gordhan is also tainted. His daughter was involved in a scandal. He's also involved in this thing, in trying to protect the treasury from corruption. In fact, AN7 exposed that. And nobody's saying anything because he's working for what monopoly capital, the same applies to the outer guy. 2, I respect Julius Malema as a young person. This guy from SABC is almost the same age as Julius Malema. But his thinking is far beyond anything. Julius Malema knew exactly what was happening with Cyril Ramaphosa and consultation. They knew by Saturday. Mbalula was actually, to tell the truth, Mbalula was told Saturday already that you won't be in the cabinet. And then this consultation of Ramaphosa, it was only that Nzimande tried to have power to be in. That's why the ANC were not happy about it. So that's why the delay was. So these guys are lying. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Joe in Albertine. You're watching Question Time, and you can call us 0891 104 210 if you're outside South Africa, plus 210 89 110 4210.
Finally, getting the click in Xhosa right. Fitting into your thin pants. Making it out of the friend zone.
With so many good deals at the Tops at Spa Surfest, you'll find any reason to celebrate. Buy a bottle of Jameson Irish Whiskey and Schweppes Ginger Ale for only $279.99. Only at the Tops at Spa Surfest.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time, and of course my guest here, Ben Theron from Outer, who is the COO there, and I've got Alex Mashilo also from the SACP, the South African Communist Party. No young people there except for Ms. Kubai Ngubane, who is there. Who else is there? We were hoping the likes of Stella Ndabeni and many other young people, Ronald Lamula, for instance, would come to the fore. But no, it's old horses.
I think we must analyze the ANC composition in Parliament so that when we raise this expectation, they are in line with the composition of Parliament. It could be that there are few young people in Parliament as ANC MPs than we expect them to be in the cabinet.
but Fikile Mbalula is a young person. I mean, why get rid of him and return and retain older people? I mean,
look,
Mbalula, is there a deliberate strategy against young people?
I don't think so. Mbalula was appointed to head the ANC election campaigns on a full-time basis as a young person. That is a key deployment, and he himself said it, that it is the movement that deploys, and this time he was deployed to be full-time in the movement to lead the most important campaign.
Now that the relations are quite on the up between yourselves and the ANC, and I guess by extension the alliance, are you still going to go it alone? Like we saw in Metsimaholo, for instance, where you have a mayor there, an SACP a mayor there. Are you going to go it alone in 2019 and 2021?
Let me say there have been various local government by-elections that have taken place after and before Metsimaholo. We have only contested Metsimaholo because of our assessment and
assessment that you would win, or just to test the waters?
Not to test the waters. There was a specific situation in Metsimaholo. About 300 workers were dismissed from work. We've been fighting that battle to have those workers reinstated. We've had a difficulty to call and campaign for the same people who dismissed those workers, for those workers to vote for those people. And I must say, in July last year, our National Congress took a resolution. The resolution is very clear. Going forward, the South African Communist Party will contest elections actively, either within the umbrella of a reconfigured alliance or by building a popular left front. In October, we met with our alliance partners to put forward this motion of a reconfiguration of the alliance. That was accepted. In fact, a program was agreed upon to develop a paper to give meaning to the reconfiguration of the alliance, and once that is accepted by the alliance, that's how we will contest elections. But if there is a refusal to reconfigure the alliance, we will definitely have to contest elections outside of the alliance as it stands at the moment.
Edie, you are on the line. Good to be chatting to you. Hello. Hi, Edie. Okay, Edie is gone. Let me come to you, Mr. Theron, then. Pravin Gordhan, where does he start cleaning the state-owned entities, and how are you going to help him to ensure that, you know, whatever information that you have, he can access that?
Let me start by saying it's a very sad state of affairs. For the whole of last year, we tried working with Lim Brown. We tried getting into her office, talking to her, so she can understand how deep the rot is. She refused to see us. We've got a lot of information. We have information on the contracts of Eskom, and just using one example, Eskom. We've got information from inside because we've done a lot of work over the last year on these various state institutions. The beautiful thing about Eskom is that the board has been replaced as well as the CEO. People have now resigned, so therefore the beginning of the change is there. But you must remember there's a whole cadre level of people there that have been rotten, because once you have a CFO and a CEO that's rotten, that rot sets in. And it's important to eliminate that rot at that level before you can start working forward. Look at PRASA, look at Transnet, SAA. There's movements in SAA that's taking place. PRASA need desperate intervention right now. People are dying on the lines in Cape Town because of the infrastructure that's not there. Now there's accusation that they are vandalizing. They're not vandalizing. They're just trying to get to work. And I think it's important to start focusing on the transport infrastructure, because it's the poor people that suffer because they can't get to work and they lose their jobs, and in some instances lose their lives.
And then let me stay with you, Mr. Theron. We have Didi Mabuza from Mpumalanga, who is the deputy president right now. There are a lot of issues that are coming out. Well, some started coming out a long time ago, even before he was premier. So what do you make of that appointment, and what does it bring to the new dawn that we're talking about?
First of all, let me start off by saying we hope and pray that Cyril Ramaphosa will remain healthy. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is he gets taken out for any reason.
How so?
No, for any reason. I mean, if something happens to him, Didi Mabuza becomes the president. And I can't think of a scarier situation than that. He's even worse than
But he's run Mpumalanga successfully, some would argue.
Who's those people? If you look at the problems in Mpumalanga when it comes to corruption, land claim processes that were manipulated, there is an interdict that he still has to defend for him not to interfere with somebody in Mpumalanga where he was involved in manipulating processes to bankrupt this man.
Okay, let me close with you, Alex. Do you think it's a missed opportunity perhaps to have a woman deputy president?
Decisions,
does it even matter?
Look, decisions are not only taken in the state, they are taken in the ANC, and some decisions involve many people. Like the decision to elect Didi Mabuza was taken by almost 5,000 delegates at an ANC conference. We have never had a situation since 1994 where the deputy president of the ANC was not appointed the deputy president of the Republic. That would have been a precedent, but I don't think we can say President Cyril Ramaphosa was wrong. I think we need to discuss the outcomes of the ANC 54th National Conference. But by doing so, we must accept the course of democracy.
It's confusing because former President Jacob Zuma said it's a tradition, it's not policy, that if you are the deputy president, that it follows that you're president. But this time around,
he was referring to when the term of office ends. And there is a conference that must elect new leadership. He said, correctly so, that it was not a tradition that the deputy president automatically becomes the president. And we have seen contestation taking place at the 54th conference of the ANC. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma contested the former Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa. If you go back in 2012, there was also contestation.
Okay.
In Polokwane, there was contestation. That is what he meant.
All right, to both of you, my guest, Mr. Ben Theron from Outer, the COO, thanks for joining us. Alex, highly appreciated. Alex Mashila is the SACP spokesperson. And that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest and to you at home for watching this program. My name is Bongi Kwalam Potse. We will return again tomorrow. Good night.
Our stories,